The Grand Assembly Chamber on the orbital station above Xerax Prime buzzed with anticipation. Representatives from dozens of star systems gathered, their varied forms and voices filling the Great Hall with a cacophony of alien languages. This was the place where the galaxy's fate was debated and decided, forum for civilizations that had shaped the cosmos for millennia. At the center of the chamber, a large holographic display shimmered to life, showing the emblem of the newly declared human galactic rule. The humans had stunned the galaxy only months ago by uniting a cluster of systems under their leadership, a feat once considered impossible for their young species. Now, their authority was the subject of today's debate. Counselor Elrith of the Larkin Empire stepped forward. His elongated features twisted into a mocking smile as he addressed the assembly. Friends, we face a farce. Humans, primitive, impulsive humans, have declared themselves rulers, a species barely out of its homeworld's cradle, claiming governance over diverse worlds. This is comedy masquerading as politics. Laughter rippled through the chamber. Alien delegates exchanged amused glances. The humans, sitting quietly in their delegation, remained composed, but the smirks and snickers around them were impossible to ignore. Counselor Arhak of the Zorvani Coalition echoed the sentiment. Their systems are undeveloped, their culture chaotic. Their so-called rule is but a fragile illusion, destined to crumble beneath the weight of galactic reality. We should dismiss this with the contempt it deserves. Amid the jeers, Commander Alina Reyes of the human delegation stood calmly. Her eyes met those of Ilreth, unwavering. When it was her turn, she spoke with steady confidence. Dismissal is easy when you refuse to understand. Humanity's rise is not a joke or a fleeting spark. It is the result of perseverance, adaptation, and a vision for unity. She continued, "We do not claim perfection. We know the galaxy is vast and complex. But we bring something unique, a willingness to learn, to innovate, and to protect not just ourselves, but all who choose peace and cooperation." The chamber fell silent, the weight of her words settling in. But the alien leaders were not convinced. Counselor Vex of the Irith Collective leaned forward, his many eyes narrowing. "Words do not govern worlds, Commander. Power does. Let your human fleets maintain their small systems for now, but do not expect the galaxy to bow to a species untested by time." Reyes responded, "Power without purpose is empty. We invite cooperation, not subjugation. Under human leadership, diverse systems can thrive together, each valued." As the session progressed, the debate grew heated. Some species, wary of change, resisted the idea of humans leading. Others, more pragmatic, suggested observing the humans' actions before passing judgment. Outside the chamber, the mood was tense. Across the galaxy, news of the assembly spread rapidly. In human colonies, people watched and waited, aware that this moment could define their future. In a quieter corner of the station, Reyes met with her advisors. "They underestimate us," she said softly. "They see only what they want, their doubts, their fears. But they don't see the resolve beneath." Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Chen, nodded. "Their mockery can be a weapon if we let it fuel us." "Exactly," Reyes said. "We'll prove them wrong not with words, but with actions." Back in the assembly hall, the session ended without resolution. The alien leaders agreed to monitor the human rule, but remained skeptical, their laughter fading only slightly into wary observation. But as the delegates dispersed, a subtle shift began. Among the crowd, eyes once filled with mockery now held a flicker of curiosity. The galaxy had dismissed humans as a joke, but the story was far from over. While the alien leaders in the Grand Assembly dismissed the human rule as a passing joke, humanity's rise quietly gathered momentum in the shadows beyond the political theater. Far from the prying eyes of skeptical species, human ingenuity thrived. driven by a relentless determination to prove that they belonged among the stars, not as pawns, but as leaders, on the sprawling human colony world of Nova Terra. Commander. Alina Reyes stood overlooking a bustling cityscape of gleaming spires and humming transport tubes. The planet was a testament to human perseverance, a thriving hub of innovation, industry, and cooperation. Here, people of countless backgrounds worked together to build a future that reached far beyond their humble beginnings. Nova Terra is just the beginning, Reyes said to her trusted advisor, Lieutenant Mei Chen. The galaxy may scoff now, but they'll soon see what we're capable of. Chen smiled, tapping a datapad that showed the latest diplomatic communications. Our allies are growing in number. The Andari and the Vroxine have committed more ships to our coalition. They respect what we're doing here. The Andari, known for their mastery of stealth technology, and the Vrgassan, fierce warriors with unmatched resilience, were among the first to recognize the value of human leadership. Their support was crucial in turning the tide of galactic politics. But gaining allies was only part of the struggle. Humanity's greatest strength lay in its adaptability, a trait forged through centuries of hardship and rapid evolution on Earth, where other species clung to tradition. Humans embraced change and innovation. In the starship yards orbiting Nova Terra, engineers worked tirelessly to refine human-designed ships, unlike the sleek but fragile vessels of other civilizations. Human warships combined robust armor with flexible modular systems that could be adapted mid-battle. The dauntless flagship of the human fleet was the embodiment of this philosophy, a versatile warship designed to endure and outthink any opponent. Systems check complete. Chief Engineer Malik reported, wiping grease from his hands. The new adaptive shields can reconfigure in seconds. If the enemy shifts tactics, we can respond faster. Good, Reyes replied. Speed and flexibility, that's our advantage. Meanwhile, on the diplomatic front, humans pioneered an approach alien cultures found unusual: openness. Rather than imposing their will, humans sought to understand the unique cultures and traditions of their allies and even their rivals. This earned respect and opened doors. Ambassador Nia Patel led these efforts, traveling between worlds to negotiate alliances and build trust. Her approach was simple: listen first, then act. During a tense meeting with the stoic Zorvani diplomats, Patel's sincerity broke down barriers. "We don't ask you to surrender your identity," she told them. "We ask only that we work together. Our strength is in unity." To Zorvani, long proud and wary of outsiders, nodded thoughtfully. It was the beginning of a slow but steady shift. Yet not all reactions were favorable. In the shadowed halls of the Larkin Empire, Councillor Ilrith seethed. His dismissal at the assembly had failed to quell the rising influence of humanity. He convened his advisors, plotting ways to undermine the human coalition. "They grow bolder," Ilrith growled. "Their reach extends beyond their systems. If left unchecked, they will disrupt the balance of power." His plan was clear: sow discord within human alliances, exploit their weaknesses, and remind the galaxy why humans were meant to be beneath others. But human leaders anticipated such moves. Their resilience had been tested not just by warships or politics, but by the very skepticism that fueled their rise. In a remote research station orbiting an unremarkable moon, scientists worked on a breakthrough that would change everything. A new communication technology that allowed instantaneous encrypted messaging across vast distances. This would give humanity and its allies an edge in coordination, making surprise attacks and misinformation nearly impossible. "We're creating a network unlike any other," Dr. Cato, lead scientist, explained to Reyes during a visit. "It will keep our forces connected no matter where they are." Reyes nodded. "Then let's make sure the galaxy remembers this moment, the moment humanity stopped being underestimated." As months passed, the galaxy slowly felt the ripple effects of human perseverance. Fleets once skeptical began to mirror human tactics. Political blocs fractured under the pressure of new alliances. And the story that had begun as a joke transformed into a movement too powerful to ignore. Back on the Dauntless, Reyes addressed her crew. "They laughed at us," she said. "But now they watch. And soon they will listen." Because humanity was not just surviving the galaxy, they were shaping it. The discovery was unexpected, buried deep in the ruins of a long-abandoned outpost on the edge of known space. A small archaeological team unearthed what appeared to be an ancient data capsule. Its design was unmistakably human, yet far older than anyone had believed. Humans had ventured beyond their home systems. Dr. Liana Reyes, a brilliance an archaeologist and cousin to Commander Alina Reyes, examined the capsule with growing excitement. "This is unlike anything we've ever found," she said, carefully unlocking the intricate seals. "If the dating is correct, this recording predates the earliest documented human starflight by over a century." The Galactic Coalition quickly transported the artifact to a secure facility on Nova Terra. There, a team of linguists, cryptographers, and historians worked around the clock to decrypt its contents. Inside was a recording, an encrypted message encoded with layers of complex data and images, likely designed to remain secret until the right time. As the team painstakingly peeled back the encryption, the galaxy waited with bated breath when the message finally played. The room fell silent. The recording featured a human figure, their face resolute but calm. The voice was familiar, yet unfamiliar, cooing. "Across centuries, greetings," the figure began, "to anyone who finds this message. We are the architects of what you now call the human galactic rule. We write this to prepare future generations and the galaxy at large for a threat beyond politics and borders." The message continued with details previously unknown to most species. Evidence of an ancient cosmic anomaly heading toward the galaxy, a wave of energy and matter, capable of destabilizing entire star systems. The recording described how humanity had foreseen this danger and dedicated generations to understanding and preparing defenses. "We knew that survival required unity, foresight, and relentless innovation," the figure said. "We have laid the foundation for a future where diverse civilizations could stand together against the darkness." For many listening, the revelation was shocking. Humans, the species so often underestimated and mocked, had been quietly preparing for a threat no one else had fully acknowledged. Across the galaxy, reactions varied. Some governments dismissed the recording as a hoax or a propaganda desperate attempt by humans to justify their sudden rise. Others were stunned, their previous doubts shaken. On the political stage, alien leaders scrambled to verify the recording's authenticity. Specialists examined the capsule's construction, the encryption methods, and the geological dating of the site. Every test confirmed its legitimacy. Counselor Ilrith's earlier dismissal gave way to uneasy murmurs. The humans had secrets, and those secrets now cast a shadow over centuries of alien complacency. Ambassador Nia Patel addressed the Grand Assembly once more. "This recording changes everything. It is a call to action, not a challenge to power. We cannot afford to ignore it." Yet many factions resisted the idea of cooperation. Suspicion ran deep, and centuries of rivalry made trust difficult. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Meanwhile, the human coalition saw the recording as a vindication of their path. Commander Alina Reyes held a press briefing broadcast across systems. "This message is not just about a threat," she said. "It is about humanity's commitment to the galaxy's future. We did not seek power for its own sake. We sought to prepare, to protect, and to unite." She paused, eyes scanning the cameras. "We invite all species to join us. Together, we can face what is coming." Divided, we risk everything. Among the public, the recording sparked renewed pride in humanity. Across cities and starports, holographic projections played the message repeatedly. Discussions about the galaxy's future filled forums, lounges, and training halls. But the recording also unsettled many. If such a threat existed, why had so few known? And were they truly ready to face it? Deep within the shadows of the Larkin Empire, Counselor Ilrith met with covert agents. If the humans prepared for this threat, so must we. We cannot be left behind. He issued orders to accelerate secret research programs and intelligence operations to monitor human activities. Elsewhere, scientists on Nova Terra and allied worlds pushed forward, racing to unlock more of the recording's hidden data and apply its lessons. As the galaxy grappled with this new reality, the fragile balance of power shifted. Humans were no longer just an oddity or a joke. They were the holders of knowledge and preparation that others lacked. The question remained, could the galaxy overcome old prejudices and unite before the darkness arrived? Commander Alina Reyes stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, staring into the stars. The discovery of the recording was a turning point not just for humanity, but for all who called the galaxy home. The challenge had been revealed. Now, the real test was beginning. The decrypted recording had sent shockwaves through the galaxy. What once was dismissed as human folly now demanded attention, challenging centuries of alien arrogance and forcing all civilizations to confront an uncomfortable truth. In the halls of the Grand Assembly, the atmosphere had changed. The laughter and mockery that had greeted the announcement of human rule were replaced by uneasy silence. The recording was no longer just a message. It was a testament to human foresight and determination, qualities many had underestimated. Counselor Vex of the Aerith Collective stood before the assembly, his multiple eyes reflecting the solemnity of the moment. This recording provides evidence of a threat beyond any we have encountered. It is a warning we can no longer ignore. He continued, we must set aside our differences and evaluate the preparations humanity has made. Their leadership, once dismissed, may now be vital for our survival. Across the chamber, murmurs of agreement and reluctant nods spread among the delegates. Still, some remained skeptical, unwilling to accept humans as equals or leaders. Counselor Ilrith of the Larkin Empire scowled, his voice sharp and defiant. This recording may be genuine, but it is also a tool of propaganda. Humans seek to justify their sudden ascent by exploiting fear. He gestured to the assembled delegates. We should scrutinize their claims, test their readiness, and not surrender control lightly. Amid the debate, Ambassador Nia Patel rose with quiet authority. Doubt is natural, but the recording has passed every test of authenticity. Denial will only cost us time we cannot afford. She outlined a proposal to create a joint task force led by human experts to investigate the threat and coordinate a unified defense. The proposal was bold, signaling a potential shift in galactic politics. After hours of deliberation, the assembly voted. The task force was approved, though not without opposition. It was a fragile victory, but a victory nonetheless. Back on Nova Terra, the human coalition prepared for its new role. Commander Alina Reyes received reports from across the galaxy. Some worlds welcomed a change with hope. Others bristled at the loss of autonomy. Leading means carrying the burden of responsibility, Reyes said during a strategy session. We must prove ourselves worthy of trust, not just through words, but through action. Meanwhile, scientists and engineers worked feverishly to interpret the recording's technical data. The message contained designs for advanced energy shields, warning protocols, and defense algorithms unlike anything currently in use. Dr. Cato, lead scientist on the project, explained the challenge. We're decoding concepts ahead of our current technology. It's a race against time to implement these defenses. Elsewhere, Intelligence networks confirmed strange anomalies in deep space. Disruptions in star systems consistent with the approaching cosmic threat described in the recording. On the front lines, joint fleets began joint training exercises, testing coordination under human command. Skeptical commanders observed human tactics closely, noting their emphasis on adaptability, resilience, and unconventional strategies. Lieutenant Chen reported, "Our drills show that human commanders anticipate and adapt faster than most. They're unpredictable in ways that keep enemies off balance." The alien forces could no longer ignore humanity's capabilities. The initial ridicule was replaced by grudging respect and, in some cases, genuine admiration. In quiet moments, however, fears persisted. Would the alliance hold when the threat arrived? Could centuries of distrust be overcome? Amid these uncertainties, a quiet voice from the past echoed the voice in the recording. It reminded everyone that unity was the only way forward, as the Galactic Task Force prepared for its first mission. Commander Reyes reflected on the path humanity had traveled, from dismissed outsiders to leaders tasked with defending the galaxy. Humans had transformed skepticism into hope. "History will judge us," she said softly to her crew. "Let's make sure it remembers that humanity did not just survive the galaxy's challenges, we led the way through them." The stars. Outside, the Dauntless gleamed with promise and peril alike. The recording had changed everything, and the galaxy would never be the same. The revelation of the ancient recording and the formation of the human-led Galactic Task Force sent ripples through the political landscape. Alien factions reacted with a mix of apprehension, intrigue, and resistance. The very fabric of galactic power was being tested, and old alliances strained under new pressures done in the sprawling capital of the Larkin Empire. Counselor Ilrith paced his private chambers. The recording's authenticity was undeniable, yet his pride would not allow him to accept human leadership. The notion was an affront to centuries of Larkin dominance. "We cannot allow humans to dictate terms to the galaxy," Ilrith said bitterly. During a meeting with his closest advisors, "We must find ways to undermine their influence. If we can't break their alliances, we can at least sow discord within them." His chief strategist, a sharp-minded Larkin named Sarvik, nodded thoughtfully. "We have spies embedded in several human-allied systems. Disinformation campaigns and covert sabotage could weaken their coalition." Meanwhile, across the Vroxan homeworld, a different approach took shape. The Vroxan High Council, fierce warriors and steadfast allies of humanity, saw the recording as confirmation of their trust in humans. Their leader, Warlord Kethra, sent envoys to strengthen military cooperation. "We stand with humanity," Kethra declared. "Their vision aligns with our survival. We must act decisively and prepare for the threat they have warned us about." The Andari, masters of stealth and diplomacy, faced internal debate. Some viewed the recording as an opportunity to gain a foothold in leadership by supporting human initiatives. Others worried about losing influence. Ambassador Lyra, representing a progressive faction, urged cooperation. "The threat demands unity. Our skills complement human strengths. Together, we can forge a defense no single race could achieve." But her opponent, Ambassador Teisel, warned, "We must be cautious. Blind trust in humans could leave us vulnerable. Our independence is at stake." As tensions simmered, the recording sparked a galaxy-wide race to replicate and understand the technology it described. Research stations on multiple planets accelerated projects inspired by human designs, advanced energy shields, sensor arrays, and communication networks. In the political arena, some species sought to discredit humanity by digging into their past. Rumors spread of internal conflicts, resource shortages, and historical mistakes. Propaganda machines went to work, aiming to remind others of human flaws. Yet, the humans remained focused on their mission. Commander Elena Reyes convened her leadership council aboard the Dauntless. We cannot afford to be distracted by politics or attempts to divide us. Our unity is our strength, Lieutenant Chen added, every time they try to tear us apart. We grow more determined. Beyond the political maneuvering, the cosmic threat loomed closer. Sensor arrays detected increasing disturbances in nearby star systems. Fluctuations in energy fields and unusual spatial anomalies, consistent with the warning in the recording. Joint Task Force fleets were deployed to investigate and monitor these areas. Exercises became more frequent and intense, preparing for the day when conflict would become unavoidable, despite the growing urgency. Not all factions accepted the reality of the threat. Some continued to deny or minimize the danger, clinging to old power structures and distrust of humans. In a secret meeting on a distant station, a coalition of dissident species formed. They viewed the human-led task force as a threat to their sovereignty and plotted to resist any efforts at centralized galactic control. Our survival depends on maintaining autonomy, one dissident leader declared. We will not be puppets in a human game, yet, even among dissenters, the recording had planted doubt. Whispers of the impending threat spread, sowing fear and uncertainty. Back on Novaterra, Dr. Cato reviewed new data from research teams. We're making progress, but the threat is accelerating. Our window to prepare is closing. Commander. Reyes stood with him, determination etched on her face. Then we must move faster. The galaxy is watching. We need to show them that human leadership means action, not empty promises. The days ahead promised struggle not just against the cosmic danger, but against deep-seated suspicion and resistance within the galaxy itself. Humanity's challenge was clear: to unite a fractured galaxy before it was too late. As the Dauntless prepared for its next mission, the question echoed in every mind: would the galaxy rise together or fall divided? The answer would shape the future of all the calm before the storm was shattered in the outer rim, where the galaxy's edge met the unknown. Sensor arrays aboard the Dauntless hummed with urgent signals disturbances that no natural phenomenon could explain. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the swirling anomaly just beyond their sector. This is it, she said quietly. The threat the recording warned us about has arrived. The Joint Galactic Task Force, a coalition of ships from human and allied species, gathered swiftly. The Dauntless took command, coordinating fleet movements with precision. For many of the alien commanders, was their first time under human leadership in battle. Lieutenant Chen monitored the tactical displays. The anomaly is expanding, destabilizing star systems. Initial probes indicate bursts of energy, disrupting communications and navigation. Suddenly, alarms blared. An enemy fleet, shadowy, unidentified, emerged from the distorted space. Their ships were unlike any the galaxy had encountered. Dark, sleek, and almost spectral, moving with unnatural speed and precision. Counselor Vex, aboard the Arath Command cruiser, spoke through the comms. Unknown vessels detected. They appear hostile and are heading directly toward the fleet. Commander Reyes took a deep breath. All hands, battle stations. We engage on my command. Remember, adapt and anticipate. We are humanity's legacy and the galaxy's shield. The battle erupted in bursts of light and fire. The enemy fleet attacked with devastating energy pulses that scrambled shields and disabled systems. The Joint Task Force responded with coordinated volleys. But the enemy's tactics were unfamiliar and relentless. On the Dauntless Bridge, Chief Engineer Malek reported, "Shields holding, but stress levels rising. Enemy weaponry adapts quickly to our defenses." Lieutenant Chen added, "They're testing us, probing for weaknesses." Despite the pressure, human commanders maintained calm. Their training emphasized rapid adaptation, modifying shield frequencies, deploying countermeasures, and using environmental hazards like asteroid fields to their advantage. Ambassador Lyra of the Andari commented, "Their unpredictability matches their aggression. This isn't a simple raid, this is a reconnaissance strike." The battle waged for hours. Several Allied ships were damaged or lost, but the fleet held the line. During a crucial moment, the Dauntless executed a daring maneuver, diving into a nebula cloud to evade enemy sensors and strike from an unexpected angle. "Now's our chance," Reyes commanded. "Focus fire on the enemy flagship." The combined firepower overwhelmed the enemy-led vessel, which erupted in a brilliant explosion. Sending shockwaves through the battle, the remaining enemy ships withdrew rapidly into the distorted space, vanishing as mysteriously as they had appeared. As silence settled, the fleet regrouped, counting losses and assessing damage. Counselor Vex radioed, "This encounter confirms the threat is real and dangerous. We must prepare for more." Commander Reyes addressed the fleet. "This was only the beginning. Our unity saved us today. We must strengthen it if we hope to protect the galaxy." The battle's aftermath rippled through the coalition. The recordings. Warnings were no longer theoretical. The danger was here, tangible and deadly, in the political capitals. Reactions ranged from fear to renewed support for the human-led task force. Even skeptics found themselves reconsidering old prejudices in the face of undeniable proof. Back on Nova Terra, scientists worked feverishly to analyze enemy technology recovered from the battlefield. Dr. Cato noted, "Their energy signatures are unlike anything we know. Understanding their systems is critical." Commander Reyes convened her leadership council. "We faced them once and survived. Next time, we must be ready to fight and win decisively." Lieutenant Chen added, "The enemy learns quickly. Our advantage lies in our ability to innovate." Faster, the first confrontation had united the coalition in purpose, but also exposed its vulnerabilities. The enemy's origin and motives remained a mystery, deepening the urgency to decode the recording's full message. As the Dauntless sailed through the stars, its crew prepared for the challenges ahead. The galaxy watched, hope mingling with fear. Humanity had stood firm when it mattered most, but the war for the galaxy was just beginning. In the weeks following the first confrontation, the galaxy held its collective breath. The shock of the enemy's arrival had reverberated through every system, but it also ignited a flame of unity among the coalition. The human-led Galactic Task Force became more than a symbol, it was a lifeline. Commander Elena Reyes convened regular strategy meetings aboard the Dauntless, gathering representatives from the diverse allied species. The halls buzzed with tense energy as leaders debated tactics and shared intelligence. "We cannot afford fractures," Reyes emphasized. "Our strength is in our alliance, in combining our unique skills and technologies." Ambassador Nia Patel echoed the sentiment during a broadcast that reached millions. "This is our moment to transcend old rivalries. Together, we face an enemy no one species can defeat alone." Among the allies, trust deepened. The Vraxan warriors, known for their fierce loyalty, trained alongside human marines, exchanging combat techniques and battle philosophies. The Andari specialists shared stealth technologies, enhancing reconnaissance capabilities. Even the cautious Eroth Collective opened their archives to human scientists, accelerating research. Lieutenant Mei Chen led coordinated drills, testing fleet responses to simulated attacks. Her calm and confidence inspired crews of all backgrounds. "Adaptability is our edge," Chen reminded them. "The enemy evolves, and so must we." Meanwhile, the scientific community raced to unlock the remaining secrets of the ancient recording. Dr. Kaito's team decoded complex defense algorithms, and energy modulation techniques that promise to revolutionize shield technology. "We're seeing breakthroughs," Cato reported to Reyes. These advancements could turn the tide, but progress was not without setbacks. The enemy's attacks, though less frequent, grew more targeted. Supply lines faced disruption, and several outposts reported sabotage. Saboteurs linked to dissident factions operated in the shadows, aiming to fracture the alliance from within. Security forces worked overtime to root them out. Counselor Ilrith and his dissidents intensified propaganda campaigns, exploiting fear and uncertainty. Yet, their influence waned as the task force's successes mounted. One pivotal moment came, when the coalition's forces intercepted a transmission revealing the enemy's objective, a network of ancient cosmic gateways that, if captured, could grant the invaders access to critical star systems and resources. "This changes everything," Reyes declared. "We must secure those gateways before they do." Joint task force fleets launched coordinated offensives, blending human ingenuity with alien expertise. Battles for control of gateway outposts tested their unity and resolve. At the battle for the gateway station, Valeris, human pilots flew alongside Vrax and heavy assault units. Undari-cloaked scouts provided cover, and Ereth scientists operated advanced sensor arrays. The operation succeeded, but at great cost. Casualties weighed heavily on all sides. In the quiet moments after victory, Ambassador Patel addressed the crews. "Our losses remind us why we fight to protect lives and build a future worth living." Commander Reyes felt the weight of leadership, but also the hope blossoming around her. The alliance was holding, growing stronger through shared sacrifice. Amid these trials, small but meaningful cultural exchanges flourished. Music, art, and stories traveled between worlds, weaving a tapestry of mutual respect and understanding. Back on Nova Terra, families of all species gathered to celebrate victories and honor those lost. The recording, once a catalyst for doubt, now served as a beacon of purpose. Yet the cosmic threat loomed ever closer. Intelligence indicated the enemy regrouping, preparing for a larger offensive. In a private moment, Reyes confided in Lieutenant Chen. "The galaxy trusts us. We must not fail." Chen nodded. "We won't. Humans have faced impossible odds before. This is just another challenge." As the Dauntless sailed toward the next battle, the Alliance stood united not as fractured species clinging to old grudges, but as a collective determined to survive and thrive. The galaxy's fate hung in the balance, but its hope burned brighter than ever. Together, it would face the darkness, and together, they would prevail. The galaxy held its breath. After months of escalating conflict, the enemy's true purpose became terrifyingly clear. The ancient cosmic gateways, once quiet relics, were the keys to a vast network of star systems. Control of these gateways meant dominion over trade routes, strategic outposts, and the very flow of energy in the galaxy. Commander Alina Reyes stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, her jaw set, eyes scanning the holomap displaying the last gateway still unclaimed, the Arcanus Nexus. The enemy had concentrated their forces here, preparing for a decisive assault. "We're about to face the greatest challenge yet," Reyes told her assembled commanders. "Everything we fought for depends on holding this nexus." The Allied fleets had gathered in full strength. Ships of every shape and size, human and alien alike, formed a colossal shield around Arcanus. The air buzzed with tense anticipation. Lieutenant Chen coordinated the defense grid. Enemy fleet approaching. Estimates put their numbers at twice ours. Ambassador Patel addressed the crews over the com channels. "Remember why we fight: our homes, our families, our future. Stand firm and stand together." The battle began with a furious barrage of energy pulses lighting up the void. The enemy struck with overwhelming force, testing every defense the Alliance had developed. Shields flared and flickered. Fighters danced through laser storms. Heavy cruisers exchanged devastating volleys. Despite the odds, the coalition held their ground. Human tactics emphasized flexible formations, quick retreats, and relentless counterattacks, keeping the enemy off balance. Amid the chaos, a fleet of stealth Endari ships slipped past enemy lines to sabotage their command vessel. Explosions rippled through the enemy's flagship, disrupting coordination and creating openings for Allied forces. But the enemy was relentless. They deployed advanced weaponry capable of breaching even the strongest shields. The Dauntless itself sustained heavy damage. Alarms ringing throughout the ship. In a critical moment, Commander Reyes made a bold decision. Deploy the experimental shield technology from the recording. This is our last chance. Engineers scrambled to activate the new defenses, energy cascading into a shimmering dome around the fleet's core. The shields absorbed the enemies. Most devastating strikes, buying time for Allied reinforcements to arrive. With renewed vigor, the coalition pressed the attack. The enemy fleet faltered under coordinated fire, their formations breaking apart. Finally, the Arcanist Nexus was secure. The enemy retreated into the depths of space, their plans thwarted for now. As silence returned, the crews aboard the Dauntless and Allied vessels exhaled in relief. The victory was hard-won, marked by sacrifice and bravery. Commander Reyes addressed the fleet. Today, we proved that unity can overcome even the darkest threats. The galaxy has witnessed humanity's resolve and leadership. Ambassador Patel added, "This is not the end, but a new beginning. We will rebuild, strengthen our alliances, and prepare for whatever challenges lie ahead." Across the galaxy, celebrations erupted. Old divisions softened as species came together in shared triumph. Back on Nova Terra, families reunited, heroes were honored, and the recording that had once been doubted now stood as a symbol of hope and resilience. Yet, Commander Reyes knew the war was far from over. The enemy's motives and origins remained a mystery. But the galaxy had found strength in unity, and humanity had earned its place not as conquerors, but as guardians, as the stars gleamed beyond the Dauntless's viewport. Reyes whispered, "We will face the future together." And together, the galaxy moved forward into the unknown, ready to meet whatever came next.